We go.
Here we go.
Ready or not? Are we live?
We're getting
It's
there.
coming. It's coming. Hello.
Can we be heard?
Hey, you fellas. How's it
All
going?
right.
Hello, everybody.
What is up, guys?
Can you hear me? Can you hear everybody else on the call?
They can hear us.
Woo!
They're saying yes.
Oh, Drake, you're such a dick.
All right.
Know that.
That's a great way to start the call. Let's insult everyone.
Since there's going to be so many
Take
voices
them
on the
down
call,
to
maybe
size.
everybody can get an introduction.
Good idea, Landon.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. I'm George. I'm here with the team. We've got Landon Durnan on the call. Landon is from Big Sushi FM, which is a radio podcast that covers games, indie gaming. Landon, you want to say hi?
Hello, everybody.
And he's going to be helping us MC this little session. We're going to be running all night. I've got John Paul on the line, Matt on the line, and Pete on the line from our team, and Per Timelin, our in-house fantasy writer, who will talk to us about fantasy.
Ah, my name!
Yes, I know. Your name is Timelin. I call him Timelin. It's mostly to annoy him. Obviously the tone of this is pretty somber. We're all really unhappy that we've made our goal. Okay, that's not
Gosh
true.
darn it.
We made it. We succeeded. We're past 60,000 on our Kickstarter. We need to thank all of our backers for that, and
Hooray.
we're trying to get to 66, which is our first stretch goal. Let's see if we can do it on this call. The rules of the call are pretty simple. We're going to be giving free stuff away throughout the whole live stream. We're going to give stuff away as people beat down on us as we demo our game to some players. And we're going to be giving stuff away anytime people answer trivia questions and anytime they back us. Every new backer or increase will merit free stuff for people in the channel. Follow our Twitch channel. That's how you get eligible for the raffle part of our various prizes. And also, if you check out our Kickstarter page, which I have up on the screen right here, we've got, if you scroll down past the stretch goals, we've got a keyword up here that you're going to have to enter to be eligible for some other prizes. Anyway, we're totally thrilled. Let's get this thing rolling.
Hey, George, before we get going, I just wanted to throw out my own special little stretch goal. If we get to $1 billion tonight, then I will type wow into the chat like this. Except I'll really mean it.
Okay, great. If you guys want to see Matt
let's work toward
type
that.
wow into the chat.
I love how you teased it.
That's
I love how you
really
teased
impressive.
it. It's amazing.
Okay, thanks, Matt.
Yeah, the first one's just a taste, but the next one will be real.
Matt Morgan, everybody. Clearly our marketing lead on this project, as you can tell from his brilliant marketing.
Taro
Got
King
that
is right.
business acumen, man.
He will definitely do it in caps.
Yeah, I would do it in caps for a
You'll
billion.
do it in caps? Even in caps?
Yeah.
And you won't
I
press
guess-
caps lock. You'll hold down shift. You go the extra mile.
Each one, yeah. Each one gets its own shift.
Each letter. That's great. Speaking of WoW, no, let's not speak of WoW. Although, actually, speaking of WoW, on a note that you're probably not expecting, did you know that the last three letters of the Arabic alphabet are Hey, Wow, Yay? I just thought everyone should know that.
George, I don't even know what to say to that.
Just that we should all start breaking into song. Who's
Maybe
the first
everybody will
challenger?
remember that for the trivia later.
What I think we should do is just maybe go over the rules real quick while George, you boot up a game.
I will.
So,
Okay, let's go over
just
the
a
rules.
Just a couple of the rules. We're going to be taking a challenger. Did we decide who the first one is? I know we have Drake and Majin Koba are the two challengers for
Are they on
tonight.
deck?
But
Okay. I'm going to be scrolling through some card art on the right-hand side of the screen here, by the way. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm also going to put up some art of where we're trying to go with our UI so you guys can see this. Please keep talking, though, JP. Oh, no. Hey, what the hell? Yeah, right. And the next comment that JP makes, the next prize will be his salary. Right.
person that made the deck also gets a prize. We like to
Oh yeah, that's
reward
right.
people
That's
that are
right. We've
deck
got
builders.
on our forums, we've got users who are already making decks, and we're using them in our play tests here. So I'll play some of your decks. If I can win with them, you get a prize. But me winning is not always a foregone conclusion.
Right. So is Drake up first? I mean, just
No, I think Majin is gonna.
Imagine. Okay.
Imagine.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was just going by alphabetical order, but Imagine is fine.
well, he's the one that answered first.
Well, we've got the
Okay.
first question
Ready.
here in the
Ready.
chat, which is why don't I have a beer yet? The answer to that is because I've already had a few.
Listen, guys, if it's
George?
any consolation, I'm on the margaritas, and I'm rocking them pretty hard.
You're on the
It's
margaritas.
1:12 in the morning, and I'm going to work tomorrow. I feel great. This is
Good
the
job,
way of the
Pear.
future.
I have to say, Pear does make a mean mojito. I don't know about his margaritas, but his mojitos are incredible.
He makes a mean mojito. That's interesting.
He's
I don't think it's a gay drink.
no, not at all.
Let's go there. 5 minutes into the call, let's start going there. That's a good idea. Okay.
I also will say that we did set a rule that I'll go over the rest of the rules. So when we do giveaways, there'll be a trivia. It'll be up on our Kickstarter page. Just look at the Kickstarter.
Right.
Into the chat, you'll be eligible to win prizes.
Yeah, and the prizes we're already going to unlock on your account for you when you are at our website. All you do is let me see if I can pop into our website to show you here. There it is. All you do is you go up here where your account login name is. See this right here? And you'll see the stuff actually unlocked right here. I'm going to hover right here. You'll see I've got packs and cards and stuff unlocked. So What? What was that?
We have a new backer, I think.
Oh, we have a new backer. You see, this is why we need to hit the sound effects stretch goal, because I don't trust our ability to create them ourselves. That was scary. Good job, though. I was just going to say, you can hover over the prizes here and you can see them before anything else. You can also go down here and look at all of our art that's coming into the game in the workshop. If you click down here, see this gallery. There's so much cool stuff on our site. You can read some of our short stories written by Pear. You can participate in our art tournament. We've got votes going up right now for the favorite art in the game. The winner of that's going to go on booster packs when we launch. It's all the way down here. We've got some pretty cool stuff going on. So check out our website. Pop back over here to the game. Alrighty.
There's a question in the chat though. Sleep AFK wants to know if that was Homestar Runner announcing the new backer.
Well, John Paul, since you are Sleep AFK, what do you have to say?
Yes, we've accused Sleep AFK of being John Paul's alt account a little bit too often.
It was actually the cheat.
It was the cheat. It wasn't Homestar Runner.
Yeah.
Pete, who's on the line, and I think who's responsible for that sound effect, is a big fan. I don't know. I was responsible for some sneezing over the line the other day that scared a few people in the chat.
I thought it was the howling of a summoned black Balrog.
It may have been the howling. Let's just say it may have been.
Everybody keeps chanting for a
That's
gray.
what I channel
Is
when
that
I
one of the
sneeze.
colors?
There was a question earlier, just very quickly before we get into the game, that I want to address because people who might be new and they might not know what's going on and what we are. We're an online card game that's in pre-art alpha right now, and we're launching this winter with our first release, and we'll continue to upgrade it from there. We're on Kickstarter right now. We've just passed our funding goal of 60,000. We're totally thrilled about that, and we're basically hosting this live stream to hope that we can, you can see here, we're over the funding goal, to try to get to some of these stretch goals here. The first one is very close, 66K. So we're just here playing some demo games against players, giving out a lot of prizes. If people can beat me, they'll get prizes. And people are kind of asking what we're all about. We're really a card game that's it's browser-based, it's free to play, and it's totally different from all the other card games out there because the mechanics of the game are totally different. I hope you're going to see that in a few minutes now as we play. It's really unlike anything else. It's something we all love. We're lifelong card game players, and let me attempt a little bit of an explanation here. Now, I won't name names because there are other card games in the industry that we love, we backed, we're going to play. But most of the other card games in the industry, we find the online card games, you can describe them basically by saying it's Magic plus something. And for us, that strategy is not quite as complete as the Chromancer strategy. So again, I won't name names, but just for example, you could say, well, this game is Magic plus, slotting creatures into lanes and forcing blocks, or Magic plus, creatures that evolve, or Magic plus, well, I guess there's some things that are just Magic at the end of the day. But anyway, again, I won't name names. But the important thing to remember is that our mechanics are very, very different. That's what's exciting about this game. The strategy when you play our game is totally new. Your instincts as a card player will make you lose. So we're about to show you, and I hope you all realize that we love card games, and I'm really just joking about those other games that we will all play and we do love. And there's nothing wrong with more Magic, because Magic's great. It's just kind of what's different about us. So let's get in the game here. It looks like my opponent, Majin Kobo's online.
Okay, let's get him in the Skype then.
All right, let's get him on Skype, and actually let's do a giveaway since we got a new backer. JP, do you want to run that?
Oh man,
Let's give some free stuff away.
I already did do a giveaway, but you were yammering, so I
I was yammering. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a fun call. I'm already out of coffee too.
I won't name names, but I'm put them up on the screen.
Oh my god.
Jesus, George.
Are you putting all of your chicken in one basket again?
Man, I had some basket cooked chicken tonight. It was amazing.
I love your attempt at American expressions.
I love both attempts at being a normal human being. Everyone gets a laugh.
Sefid is asking why you're drinking coffee, George, and not beer. Well, the answer to that is George is so drunk on sleep deprivation that he needs the coffee more than alcohol.
I have not been sleeping a lot recently, yes. That's a good point. Wow, that was pretty epileptic right there on the side of my screen. Okay. I'm going to play the Deep Sea Predator deck. I'm not sure which of our users created that, but if I win with this deck, you'll get a prize. So let's start up a game of Chromancer. Let's get Majin Kobo on the line, and let's play against him. Do you guys want to do another giveaway?
I mean, I always want to give stuff away because then people like me a lot more.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
so
that's why.
Is it like a trivia giveaway?
You start the live stream out by insulting people, and now you're giving stuff
I have a trivia question.
Go ahead, Landon.
Go.
Does everybody know what this prize is worth?
All right, so let's do a promo card giveaway. Since this is a big sushi question, it deserves a big sushi prize.
Okay.
All right.
Promo card.
What color in Chromancer has the rune of a lightning bolt?
Oh, that's
all
a
right.
good question.
Bang.
First person gets it.
Type it into the chat if you know the answer. What color in Chromancer has the rune of a lightning bolt?
Well, we have one. We have a winner.
Is it Sleep AFK?
Yes.
Is it your alt again?
It's not Sleep AFK. It's Death Zap AFK.
This time.
Congrats, man. Very quick on the trigger, which is apropos because pink is a quick color.
Is very quick. That's true. Yeah, congrats, Tessak.
We're about to start this game up. Are we getting Majin Koba online here? I want to show people stuff.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Well, you can.
Oh, I have started the game. You guys can see we're trying to get this great 3D art into the game. If you're not aware, we've got some fantastic artists on this project, including the preeminent Mark Poole, who is one of the original artists on Magic the Gathering. He has some of the greatest card art in that game. And he's doing some art for us, which we are also selling. We're giving away some of his original prints on our Kickstarter page. So please check it out, and you can actually, for a steal, really get some great original Mark Poole art. It's a pretty awesome deal. Maybe I shouldn't advertise that too strongly because if we give them all away, I'm not sure I'm going to get to keep any for myself.
I think we have him on.
George, that was your real reason for getting into this game business, right?
It
You just wanted some Mark Poole art.
It's all about the Mark Poole art, man. I love Mark Poole. I had the privilege of meeting him at Gen Con this past year.
George!
Yes.
I think we have your opponent on the line.
Oh, really? Mention Kobe, are you
Yes.
there?
I think so.
Oh, yes, you are indeed.
Well said, sir. Welcome.
Welcome indeed,
Okay.
sir. So
Yeah,
wait,
good to
just
be
just
here.
so I have the record straight. What deck are both of you guys playing?
I'm playing the Undersea Predators. I've forgotten the name.
Deep sea.
Deep sea predators.
Deep Sea Predators. There you go.
Deep sea
Okay.
predator deck. That's by the Nudnub.
Okay. All right, Ted Newt-Nub. If I win with this deck, you'll get a prize. Let's play a game here. I think people are tuned in to try to see
Okay.
stuff. And you guys carry on amongst yourselves
Okay.
as I jump in here.
Looks like it's
And
starting.
Yeah, it started up. Okay, so anybody who's new to Chromancer, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up the board. We're going to decide.
Wait, George, before you start,
Yeah.
imagine what deck are you playing?
I went with Fire Pearl.
Fire Pearl.
Ah, that's
okay.
the newest deck.
Fire
Good
Pearl.
choice.
Nice. Never heard of it. Hope it's not good. So he's clearly playing a red deck, and I'm playing a blue deck. His deck's going to play faster
I
than
wouldn't be
mine.
so sure about that, George.
Oh, is it a dual colored
Okay.
deck? Oh, that's cool.
It is a dual color deck.
Nice. He's playing a red
Red-white?
blue, huh? Okay, we'll see what happens.
Or red blue?
Blue cards tend to take a little longer to get strong. Anyway, we're setting up the game board right now. What we do is we first lay 3 fields here on our side of the board. And what we're going to do is we're going to then put on top of those 3 fields our deck, our discard pile, and our pool of resources. And unlike Magic, where you're trying to target your opponent directly, in this game you're actually trying to destroy your opponent's deck, discard pile, and pool of resources. And as you do that, you disable them permanently from him. So if I knock down his deck, he's not going to be able to draw the rest of the game. If I knock down his pool of resources, he's not going to be able to save resources from turn to turn. And so forth. And I'll win the game when I knock them all down, but I'll cripple him as I do so. And that's kind of the intrigue of the game, trying to figure out which one to do first, what to defend, what to attack. It's a positional game. You'll see how it plays out. And obviously, this is just a mechanics run here because this is our alpha. We're going to put really fantastic 3D UI into this game. Now that we've raised our Kickstarter, that's all coming. So when it comes this winter, it's going to be ready for you. You guys can play test with us if you want. Just go to our website and sign up, and we'll let you in. And you can see for yourself and see the game develop. So imagine, Koba, are you confident you can beat me after watching me lose constantly on the live stream?
Not really.
Well, I'm
Um,
just modest.
I don't have a good record.
Let me ask you, how did you find out about Chromancer originally?
I heard about it at Gen Con in the Hex line.
In the Hex line. Oh, man.
Oh wow.
Well, that's interesting.
I
didn't know
love
we
you
were
guys'
advertising
aggressive
there.
marketing, man. This is what we need. This is what we need right here.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? We actually backed Hex ourselves, and we'll be playing it ourselves. So obviously, that's a great game. And you know, it's so cool when you're a card game player how this industry has become validated in the last year. Just in the last year, I mean, there's all these great games. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold down a steady job at this point. I'm going to be so addicted to games.
Well, you definitely need to hold down this job, George, because we just got funded and everything. So I will keep the games away from you.
Yeah, right. I think it's your turn, Imagine Koba. Great. All right, so this is the end of the setup phase. We're going to be dealt our hand of cards here, and we're going to start playing. The great thing about
George,
Chromancer... Sorry?
In the setup phase, like what are some common strategies with the different decks, or like based off of what you're seeing right now, like what do you think is going to be your strategy?
Oh, good question,
Like,
Landon.
give it away so that you can be beaten.
Yeah, right. Thanks. Well,
that
first of all, I
obsession.
am like live streaming my hand, so that's probably not a good strategy in general. If you're playing a game, try not to tell everyone your hand. That's my first advice. Pete, do you have my back, by the way, on this game? Are you babysitting me?
No, man.
You totally
I-
should. Just in
I
case I
can-
get off on a tangent talking, you should. We have the ability to have Pete babysit me so he can take my turn for me when I'm
Yeah, I can
talking
do
too
that.
much, which will happen if it hasn't already. Well, what I would say about the strategy is it's very important where you put everything. Imagine Koba's put his bank all the way out on the edge here, which is probably because he doesn't want me to take out his bank. When it's remote, it's a little bit harder to get to. It's also a little harder to defend, though. So, setup is incredibly important. I mean, this is a game where, like most card games, deck building is just
New backer.
really important.
Oh, new backer, and you know what
New
that means?
backer.
You should have
There's a new
symbols that
trivia
clash or something when that happens.
New backer, new trivia up in the on the Kickstarter page, guys. Go check it out.
New trivia.
Guys, I'm totally gonna beat you to this one. I got a good feeling
Well,
about that.
it's
win.
not like
I'm gonna
it's
win.
not fastest on the trigger. It's just you just gotta type it up. And of course, Milo is the fastest on the trigger.
Yeah, Milo's always
God
the
damn you,
fastest on the trigger. He's gonna own the game by the time we launch, from all the free stuff he's getting.
Milo's actually asking a question, too.
Oh, okay.
Let me.
Probably-
All right. Well, let me just finish my thought here, which is that we're in setup here. We have a fairly open setup. Things are pretty far apart, so it's going to be a medium speed game as opposed to like a fast game or something, which we would have if our structures were closer together because it'd be easier to attack in that case. So all these things matter. And as I was saying, deck building really matters in this game, but actually playing the game skillfully really matters too. And the proof of that is that nobody can beat Matt. Matt is unbeatable. He is.
That's
I think some people have beat him.
proven not to be true.
It's just I have not met those people. They're not me anyway.
In the chat.
Oh, okay.
One of the things I really love about Chromancer is that everything is very, very open. You can do what you want. You can put as many of the same types of cards in a deck you want. You have colorless resources, so you can put all kinds of colors in the same deck. And you can also draw cards and discard cards and burn cards, which means let them go out of play forever in order to get some money. Instantly and as many times as you want, you can draw and discard and burn anytime you want. You can do it on your opponent's turn. You can move creatures on your opponent's turn instantly anytime you want. So it's really a game of actions and reactions because anything he does, you can respond to it instantly. So I'm going to play my first creature here. I'm going to put a shark out. He looks like a Parcheesi piece right now. Oh man, I can't wait till that's a 3D animated shark and looks awesome.
Well, we got that money, man. We got that
it's
money.
coming. It's coming. I just can't wait. Let me inspect some things here. I'll go into my inspector and just inspect some of these things while Imagine Koba's taking his turn.
Well, G412 Joe, he is our next winner. 200 chroma coming your way, buddy.
Hey, congrats, Joey.
He's a pretty cool guy.
Joey's a great guy. I've known Joey for a long time through a game called Elements, which is another card game out there, and he's quite skilled at that game and has been for some time now. So I expect him to be a good Chromancer player.
Wow, I was just kidding. Fair enough. I'm glad you know him.
You were just kidding? You said he was a nice guy and you were just kidding?
Well, it was more that I didn't have any scientific evidence to back that up, but I like to think the best of people.
Fair. Good save, Pear. Good job.
Pear is an eternal optimist.
Yeah, right. Good save. Yeah, he's a
Okay,
real
this-
jerk.
Jesus
I don't
Christ,
actually know him, but
That's me down to a T, man.
Now there are 3 questions in the lobby.
down to a silent
There's,
T in your name. If there were a T in your
George.
name would be Pert.
Oh, George.
What?
Question.
People have actual questions.
All right, well, ask me what they are, or answer them yourself. Look, there's a reason that on these calls I turn my volume up slightly louder than everyone else's.
Oh,
New backer.
Oh my God. Okay, another backer, another giveaway.
Give
It's
something
time
away,
for a-
man. Give something
It's
away.
time for a 1-month subscription.
Let's give a 1-month subscription to the game out. I'll explain why we have subscriptions in a moment, even though it's a free-to-play game. Agent Koba, it's your turn, buddy. Oh, I see. He was being nice and waiting for me to notice that he's flame darting me. Well, that's not something I'm going to be able to dodge. You can dodge spells in this game, but I've put myself out far enough away that from my nearest water that I can't dodge. My shark can only walk on water. It's one of his big disabilities. Most creatures can go anywhere they want, including into the void here, which would mean they would take damage regularly. My shark cannot do that. He's a very good creature, but he has that drawback.
hey, George, Tarot King was wondering if sharks should be able to jump over void if they have sufficient movement.
Oh, they can.
Yes, but should they be able to?
Oh,
Is that by design or because we haven't thought of that yet?
no, it is by design, but I hadn't thought of the possibility that they would not
like
be
they
able
leap
to.
out of the water over the void and splash into the next water.
Yeah, of
Underwater
course.
caves.
That's exactly what's happening.
Okay.
To be honest, I've considered strongly having sharks be able to move into the void and still take damage, and just not be able to move into non-waterfront fields because
Right.
it's very limiting the way they play. But it's a good question. I mean, that's precisely the type of thing that we're
I
considering.
think they're pretty strong, but yeah. So anyway, Milo's losing his mind because you haven't answered his question yet, which is how are you going to protect traders or something like that? What's your question, Milo?
How are we going to protect traitors? Traitors?
Exactly.
We're
You're
going
a
to give them
weird guy,
political
man.
asylum at the Chromancer headquarters. That's how.
Can George speak to how you will protect collectors' interests? I am a fervent trader, is what he says.
He's okay.
He also loves trivia.
Look, this is a very important point, actually. And Pete might have to take over for me here because I'm going to be talking.
God,
Warning.
no.
So hunker down, everyone.
Hunker down. Give away a whole lot of
I had
stuff.
such
No.
I had such specific desires for tonight, and you talking, it wasn't on the list, bro.
Oh man. Well, look, trading is important. This is an important concept, and it's a complex concept. And we at the Chromancer team believe that you cannot truly be a trading card game. You cannot truly be, a collectible card game unless you're a trading card game. There are a lot of games out there that are talking about being CCGs, and then there's no trading. And that's fine. It's not a criticism of the game itself. It's still probably a very good game in many cases. We just don't consider it a CCG anymore. And why? Because it doesn't mean anything for you to collect something unless it's in the context of a marketplace of other collectors, because that's how you determine the value of your collection. If you're just unlocking things on your account, we have a name for that. That's called an RPG. You're just paying into the system in order to level up your guy, basically. And you're not necessarily paying with money, by the way. You could be paying with time. But the point is that the investment that you're making is just something that's unlocking on your character. It's not something that's tradable. We're thinking a little bit more future thinking, first of all, as well as old school. I know that sounds like a little bit of a contradiction, but first of all, the original trading card games, the original collectible card games, the whole point of them was to combine the concept of trading with playability of like a card game. And so we're bringing that back. We're treating our cards the same way, and we're distributing our cards the same way that a physical card game distributes and treats their cards. And so what that means is that every single card in Chromancer is part of a digital print run. It has a serial number. It only happens once. We print limited quantities of things. And once that supply runs out because players own it, the supply runs out. We're not going to make more of it. We are, of course, going to have later editions of exactly the same cards with the same card mechanics, different card design and different card art, so that we're not screwing up the integrity of our game and making some really effective card very hard to get. We don't want, you to be unable to build
We
a
don't
deck
want
because
syndicates.
something's
We
rare.
don't want syndicates, basically.
What did you say?
We want to avoid the possibility of a syndicate buying up all print runs of a card
We
and
do.
therefore dominate the market.
We do, but let's be nuanced about that. A lot of people think merchants are bad. Collectors are bad for a game economy. They screw the experience up for players. That's just not a fair viewpoint. Collectors are players too, and they're players that should be validated. I mean, that is something that is a good part of games. We enjoy that. Everybody enjoys that. Some people enjoy it more than others. We need to empower those people. And the way you empower those people is you make your game truly collectible the way that I'm talking about. You enable them to collect earlier editions of things that truly are limited in quantity. But at the same time, you protect the players of the game by having the later editions with the same mechanics that are more widely available, so that you don't get into a situation where a syndicate or a corporation or a merchant guild is basically forcing players to overpay for stuff just because they want to use it in the game. So it's very, very important for us to put this model together, not because it's the most financially intelligent for us as a company, but because it's actually the way that we best provide service to our players so that they can both be players and collectors, and at the same time, we release ourselves as a company from the necessity to be reliant on a pay-to-win model. And what that means is that if we don't have a system like what I'm talking about, then we have to constantly incentivize more card sales. That has to be the number one thing that we care about. In the case that we're talking about here, there is value in the system already, completely outside of whether or not we are making all kinds of sales constantly, because players care about the collection of the system, and so they are they're trading amongst themselves and they're generating their own value. And that's actually that segues into the other point that I was going to make, which is that the reason that we are offering a membership option is the same reason, so that we have the ability as a company to have a that takes away the pressure from us to make card sales. And all the membership is, it's like a VIP status. You pay a low monthly fee to get more cards than you're paying into for free every month. You get a free booster pack every week, and you get access to members areas and things like that. So that's kind of how that works.
Actually, there's an interesting comment, George, since you're talking about like collection and kind of leading into economics a bit. Falling Toss in the chat is like, why not make the cards be generated like bitcoins? Oh-ho. It's an interesting point.
That's a very, very good question, theoretically.
So you have to mine for cards using your computer's processor?
Well, I think
I don't think that's our business.
I think the point of the question is more, why don't we connect card generation with sort of in a more intimate way with the activity or the volume of people at our site? And that's not a bad question. That's a good question, because that would line up the supply of cards very accurately with the people. The reason that I think that we won't go that route, and that we'll go the more traditional route of printing a fixed number of things, is because there's more transparency in in doing it the way I'm talking about. And we care a lot about transparency. When people buy into the system, when people say, I'm going to purchase this set of booster packs, they should actually know how many total have been printed, because that will be part of the value calculation for them as to, is this worth it for me? Because there's only so many left that haven't been claimed yet, because there's only so many total and so forth. We just think that more complete information is a better service to players. Also, honestly, we can control the system a little bit better that way when it's not sort of up to the random activity of people. It's
George,
an interesting
one of the things you
question.
mentioned in the past is how unique the cards are. Like, each card has its own identifier. It exists as its own thing and has a history, and you can track all of that, right?
Yeah, cards will have serial numbers, and you'll be able to click on them and figure out every person that's ever owned that card, its complete trading history, and so on and so forth, just with a couple clicks. We fully intend to have that be an easy-to-use system. I'll tell a little bit of an anecdote here. I used to play a game called RuneScape a lot, which I'm sure many of you know. It was a browser-based MMORPG, really fantastic game made by a British company. And they had a lot of issues a few years into their game after they became very popular. They were, in fact, the most popular MMORPG at one point.
Hey, George, before you continue this, just make sure that we're playing. Some people are like, want to see the gameplay. Are you playing?
I thought Pete was playing.
Yeah, it looks like someone's playing.
I'm
Okay,
playing.
just double checking. All right.
Okay,
continue
yeah,
that
sorry
RuneScape.
guys. Guys, pick up the pace of the gameplay there.
Yeah, come
Crack
on,
that
you're
whip.
meant to be pro.
Crack
You're meant to be pro.
that whip.
Let me
George,
just
crack it.
repeat what John Paul said in an authoritarian way, so it sounds like it was my idea.
The answer is no.
The answer is not no. Yeah, I mean, it may not be. I mean, I haven't really been watching it, but yeah, it may be that there's a slight deadlock. Look, the reason that we're on Kickstarter is because we understand that in order for a strategy game to be delivered the right way, the UI needs to be really good. It needs to be sleek. It needs to be enjoyable. It needs to be fun to play. And it's not really that right now. It's a little bit clunky right now. It's a little bit slow, honestly. So you kind of have to see that, past that, and see the mechanics. And what you really should do, in addition to watching this, is play test the game yourself. It's totally open. You're able to do that. Just sign up at our website and go watch our videos and read our articles about how the game is played, so that you understand the concept behind it, because that's really what's important. And there's plenty of information out there. Anyway.
There's another question here from Deszak. The card set box and the total set box, will they be part of the first run of the set, or will they be part of a pre-numbered set?
That's a great question. They'll be part of the, those are part of the alpha print run, which includes the cards that will be available to all players when we launch the game. So they're probably the earliest numbered cards within that print run, but they are part of that same print run. The cards that are actually from an earlier print run, if you will, that are separate are the Kickstarter exclusive cards, which are a unique pre-alpha print run. Those are, of course, also available to Kickstarter tiers. What was I talking about before we got sidetracked?
RuneScape? I think you were talking about RuneScape.
Yeah,
Weren't
RuneScape.
you talking about RuneScape?
Thank you, Per. Look, RuneScape was a great game which had incredible trading, had an incredibly interesting economy. I used to write to a few websites literally just about the virtual economics of that game, which I found more interesting than the game itself, and I love the game. They ran into a point when the resource collection in their game was dominated by macros, by bots, by players who were cheating using automatic programs to call their resources. And they were doing that because they were supplying gold farmers. They were doing a lot of real-world trading. And that was kind of screwing the integrity of the game up for other players. So RuneScape kind of went off the deep end, though, the parent company, and their solution, quote-unquote, to this problem was they literally banned all trading from their game. They removed trading. So this suddenly multiplayer game that was interactive and had one of the most interesting economies you could imagine suddenly didn't have an economy. Suddenly there was literally no trading. And it just changed the game overnight. In my opinion, it turned it from one of the greatest games into a completely pointless game overnight. And that type of sort of overreaction, what I would call to a problem about game economics and so forth, is something that should really be avoided. And we are adamant that we will have a marketplace that is unfettered, that is unrestricted. And the best way to combat things like scamming and cheating and so forth is just transparency. It's more information. So when we're talking about the ability to click on a card and see its trade history, we're also talking about systems a little bit like eBay, where every trader on our system will have a little rating as to how honest and how good the trades are that he's made and how many accredited trades he's had, so that if you're making major trades with somebody, you can see, yes, this is somebody I can trust and so forth. Because those things are important when you're playing a game and there's things in the game that you value and you want to gird that value. Anyway, do you guys have opinions about that? John Paul is a very, very keen business mind, actually. He probably has some views on this.
Oh, wow, George. Putting me on the spot there.
I'm sorry. Should I have talked you down?
Absolutely.
So you
absolutely.
usually do, and no one knew how to react now.
John Paul
It's
is
like,
a
what?
rambling,
Words of praise? I mean-
attracted to shiny objects, drooling person that we found wandering the streets, and we decided to offer him a job.
And
I'm
don't
actually
forget the
really
drug addiction.
intrigued.
Don't forget the drug addiction.
The drug addiction? Yes. That's why we're making Crackomancer.
Yeah, I mean,
Who's the person on our forums that keeps calling this Crackomancer, by the way?
It's because we were on GeekLink Radio and we started talking about Crackomancer because we wanted to be such an addictive game.
We do want to be an addictive game.
There was a question earlier how the name came to be.
How the name came
Oh,
to be.
I'll field that question.
Please field that question.
Easy question.
Yes.
All right.
Try not to use any American expressions and trip yourself up. Though.
Here's the etymology, guys. Chromancer is essentially two words: chroma and mancer.
Wouldn't it be
These are
Chromomancer?
Greek words. No, it's just chroma means color. A mancer in Greek is a mandis, which is like a sorcerer or a wizard.
Right, exactly.
Chroma is a color, so it's really like a color wizard. Is basically what it is.
Right, as opposed to the servant of a color wizard, which would be a crowman servant.
What?
I'm sorry, please continue.
A crowmancer?
A crowman servant, yes. It's like a Cro-Magnon manservant. Never mind.
I've actually been intrigued by something which is going on in chat. Falling Toss has actually pointed out that Magic the Gathering Online is only available, like you can only play in tournaments in certain states. I had no idea about that. Does anyone know about that?
I mean, you know what? It's if you get yourself into a position where you are categorized as a gambling site, you will be restricted in that way. And the way to prevent being categorized as a gambling site is to strictly avoid what Diablo 3 is doing, even though it's the way of the future, and I'm completely for it in principle, which is to let money come back out of the system. And Magic the Gathering Online has some elements of having the money come back out of the system in the sense that if you collect a full set of their cards, you can get physical cards from them. So I think that they sort of skate that line a little bit more closely than we will. But we won't be in a position where that's a problem. Tournaments will be available universally for us. Go ahead, JP, with what you were talking about, though.
I was talking about the fact that we just hit 200 followers on our channel, and it's time for a giveaway. So,
All right, 200 follower giveaway.
yeah. So check the site for the next question.
What are we giving
and,
away this time? Man, this
let's
game
see
is
what I have
taking a
up on my
while.
list.
What's going on here, guys? Are you assaulting each other? Sorry, go ahead. I'm going to just inspect what's going on here.
Are they assaulted? I think we're
Insulting
I'm
each other.
working on it.
Oh,
We're
yeah. It
giving
looks like
away-
Magic
we're giving
Kobo
away
is
a
doing a
promo
pretty good
card.
job of pinning the graveyard here.
No, Joe, you do not get an extra giveaway just because it was your idea. Although I think that everyone should thank you because someone will get a giveaway. All right, so I'm rolling in just a second. George, you can continue your yammering.
No, you were the one yammering. You were fielding the question of where Chromancer comes from.
Well, I think I covered that. I was succinct and to the point.
Well, you didn't successfully sound like you were ending the answer. In my opinion.
Can you talk about some of the different card decks, like the different colors and some of what they do? It's all on the website, but right now in the playtest you've been working with Red and Blue. Are there going to be like some other decks that early alpha testers can start messing with?
Oh, so many. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think the next two colors we're going to introduce into the game are yellow and brown. Although we've got 12 colors, and you can play them all at the same time if you want to. You can make all kinds of decks, and they all play differently. And this is 7 years of design and balance in order to get to a point where you have 12 different colors that all play differently. And they're awesome. I mean, if anybody wants to talk about any particular color, I can speak to it. So can the other team members. But yeah, we're really, really looking forward to getting more cards in the game because Chromancer is the type of game that's so deep that actually the sooner we get more cards in the system, the better, because people will immediately be inundated with this incredible amount of strategy. So yeah,
The one that
we've been
excited me
asking
the most
trivia questions
was
about
the
different
one
colors
where
too.
you had invisible.
Yeah, there is a
Features
color
in-
that has invisible. Exactly. Yeah, that's black. A lot of black creatures play invisibly. I'm gonna just pull this up quickly. I know you guys are watching this game, but oops, let me go here. You can see here on our website, we've got this article right here called "The 12 Colors of Chromancy." You can just go here. It's on our website. We've got a section called "About the Game." It's this third section here. If you click it, you can go right here to all about the 12 colors. You can find out other things too, like tech requirements and all that stuff. Tech requirements is kind of a misnomer because there is no requirement except having a internet-capable device. You can play our game on a phone or a tablet or a computer. It's browser-based and there's no download. This is the 12 colors of Chromancy, and it talks about every single color and its attributes and how it plays and so on. It gives you some examples of cards and what have you. So it's a pretty fun article, nice little sneak peek. Our forums are just a great place for information. We interact a lot with the community there, and we talk about things like this and answer questions and so forth.
Speaking of questions.
Okay, question. Oh,
Let's see,
go ahead.
Let's see how
No,
close we are.
Oh,
no, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
I was going to
Okay,
do the
guys,
same
we're
thing that
still
you're going to do,
1,500
Matt.
off from the stretch goal. Let's push it. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah. Can we please have a joke set called Crackomancer? Also, pink soon, maybe. Also, thanks to me.
Pink soon.
Yeah.
Well, Milo had a question
Pink is one of
about-
my favorite colors, but pink is also a color that doesn't combine very well with other colors, and as a result of that singular fact, it's probably one of the later release colors. Simply because we want to start releasing dual-colored cards sooner rather than later, so we can test and balance.
What about Crackomancer?
Well, I think Crackomancer is something we need to go out and trademark right now.
or at least
Crackomancer
hashtag
is
vigorously.
already had.
know.
So Milo had a question about purple. His question was: it seems like it'd be hard to face decks like red. Are there any tools to help them stay away? Is the question about purple.
That's a good point. And if I were to try to beat purple, to be honest, I wouldn't be using something like red. I would probably be using something that stalls well, because purple's good at keeping you away from itself, but it's not actually good at assaulting you, which is what you kind of need to do to a stall deck, which is just going to sit there and build power. So I would play gray against purple, which can reflect spells, by the way. I would play brown against purple. I would play crimson against purple. I might play white against purple. I probably wouldn't play so much red against purple. Obviously, you can use a combined colored deck. Purple, for those of you who don't know, he's asking a very specific question, is a fast, magic-oriented color that can teleport and move around really well, and its advantage is playing from a distance, positionally. The answer, though, is that yes, purple does also have distance damage spells, which is effective against red because, as you know, red has very few hit points. They don't have a lot of life generally. And also, purple has teleporting spells that include teleport others spells. So, I mean, purple can just literally teleport creatures that are trying to assault it to a distance. That may not be too effective with a swarming color, but still, that's probably what I'd do in that situation. I'd pick off the faster red creatures, and I would, keep my distance. I guess it's a good point that red can close quickly and attack hard, but I think purple would have the upper hand. I'm not sure. We'll have to test that. Yeah. So have you guys been giving stuff away in the channel while we've been talking?
We have done a couple of giveaways. There's actually a question I was trying to just type it.
Yeah, guys,
but it's a bit of a long answer.
I hope
and
everybody's
George, you're the-
realizing. I'll interrupt you and then talk in a second, but I hope everybody's realizing that this game just should not be taking this long, and that's why we need the good UI. That's why we need to get where we're going. So I hope you guys stick with us until the winter when we release the real version of this game. It's going to be sleek, it's going to be fast, and it's going to be fun. Go ahead, Jake.
You're the pro of interrupting me, but you're also the pro at answering questions like this one. So we have a guy in the channel. It's a good question for everyone. So Sia of Mars is asking, why would I pick this game over Hex? I've been waiting for Hex for a while, but it plays very much like Magic. So why would I play Chromancer instead of Hex?
Well, I'll tell you why I would play Chromancer instead of another game. Which, by the way, I will also play Hex. I think there's room to play both. But the reason I would play Chromancer is because I've played card games for 15 years and I love them. I'm addicted to them. They are my singular favorite pastime. But because of that, I'll sit down to a game that's similar to Magic and I very quickly understand what the strategy is. There's usually some wrinkle, like, oh, here's this new thing. But as much as I love that, and don't get me wrong, I do love that. I'm impassioned by that. I will spend all my time on that. I'll learn every card mechanic. I'll get totally into the game. As much as I love that, there's no comparison between that and being faced with something like Chromancer, in which not only do I have to learn all the individual card mechanics, but oh my god, the whole strategy of the game is completely new. The whole concept of now I have to defend my deck. I have to defend my discard pile. I have to deck build so that I'm not reliant on the ability to draw cards or the ability to have a discard pile or the ability to save resources. Or if I do and I create a polar deck, I have to figure out how to defend that. My strategy is so much more open-ended in Chromancer to the extent that I'm really not that good a player. I invented the game and I'm not that good a player. I mean, there are people that are beating me and it's not because I can't be. I mean, I'll focus on the game and learn it more, the ins and outs of the game and not just the game design, but it represents more potential to me as a guy that loves card games and loves strategy. And that's what excites me about it. That's why I'll play Chromancer, because I have to think totally outside of the box to get this game. And that's just really exciting. It's so cool when you sort of reach that point where you're like, oh my god, actually, you know what? I can build a deck that has a different end game from the beginning game, and I can actually set it up that way. Or, oh my god, I can create a deck that actually has some visible armies that I'm going to basically use as a tactic to force my opponent to try to move his defenses, and then have invisible armies over here that are going to attack him secretly once he moves his defenses. Or I can play the type of game where all I'm doing is keeping a literal distance from my opponent and moving my own structures around in order to keep a distance from him. That type of positional game, or the beginning to end game, or the adaptive game, all these new concepts that come with Chromancer, those are the reasons that I will play this game instead of something else. Although I'll play both at the end of the day, because I love these games. And I don't sleep much, and as a result, I spend all my time playing games. Yeah.
So does everybody here know how long you guys have been working on this game? Because that's the insane thing to me.
128 years? No. We've
Collectively,
Structure
maybe.
went down. Structure went down.
Oh, yeah, somebody just knocked out somebody's graveyard in this game. Looks like Majin Koba knocked down Pete's graveyard, my graveyard. So that's a giveaway right there when that happens. We've been working on this game for 7 years. That means, for example, that I designed over 4,000 Chromancer cards. And you might say, why on earth would you design 4,000 cards and then release with 300? And the answer is because when you explore the horizontal space of the game like that and you consider all the possible mechanics, it enables you to release 300 cards in such a way that you know that the future expansions are not going to involve power creep, right? Because you've already considered all the mechanics in the context of the original playset that's been released. So you're not going to be forced in a situation where you're trying to innovate to the extent that in order to validate the new card ideas, you're totally destroying the old balances. So that's very important. It also just takes a long time to get 12 colors actually playing evenly and differently.
Cartoon.
What was that?
Well, that sounds like, was that you, Pete?
Are we at the point of like strange sound effects being shouted into the chat?
That was not me.
I don't know.
This might be a thing now. I'll start doing this if you don't watch it.
Well, I'm kind of a monologue-y, droning
Cartoon.
on kind of a guy. You guys should be interrupting me and livening this stuff up. And it's clearly not my fault that I'm talking.
It's hard to interrupt you.
It's hard to
Especially
interrupt
Really
you.
hard.
Especially when you've turned your mic up like 10 notches above everybody else.
My mic is way up there.
We just sound like faint ghosts to you, man. We're
Shall
just
I-
whispering in the
Shall I
background.
talk quietly?
Okay, looks like we have a couple
Backer.
of giveaways. We have one backer, and we have so we have an alpha booster pack going out, and we have a promo card because the structure went down. So I'm going to just do 2 rolls. You guys don't need to do anything in particular, just because I'm feeling generous and I want to give the Gen Pop something. So rolling. Let's see. Sleep AFK. You win.
You're a cheater, John Paul.
I-
I want to tell everybody, by the way, that we have a brand new video here on the top of our Kickstarter page, which you should totally watch. It's absolutely the coolest thing. I don't know, can you hear the soundtrack as I press play?
No,
Is that coming through on the Twitch channel?
No.
right now.
Okay. Well, anyway, you should watch that. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, thanks for plugging your work, George. That's very modest.
I'm not plugging my work. I didn't say I did it.
Everybody knows by now you did
Everyone knows you did it. Look, everyone's saying you done it.
Yeah, okay. I generally do our videos. Thanks, JP. I do edit our videos. This is some footage of where we are going. If you guys are watching the screen now, all this game art here. We're trying to get to a 3D isometric view based on this. This is the alpha of the game. All right, guys, let's wrap this up. Game should not be taking an hour. This is 4 times the length of a normal game.
So what's the point, George, of ultra rare cards, capitalized ultra, if they don't make your deck more powerful? How about that?
Well, they're the only type of cards, they're heroes, they're the only type of cards that have a card limit in decks. You can only have 1 hero per deck. And for that reason alone, you don't need that many of them, so they don't need to be very common. And making them uncommon is a way of making them collectible, really. But we will be damned if we're going to make them, as you say, powerful to the extent that you need them. You should never do that with cards that are really rare. It screws up the integrity of the game and forces it to be pay to win. They're characters in our game world. We have a very, very strong inclination towards fantasy and towards validating the fantasy and creating the fantasy in our game. And guess who's on the line? Pair Timeline? Timeline?
I hate you so much. It's incredible. My hand should be reaching out to your screen right now to kill you.
Per Timolin is our professional fantasy writer, and you know what? I'm gonna just pop off the game here for a second to just show you something. If you are watching this live feed, you owe it to yourself to go to our website, go right here to where it says the lore of Prismy, click read more, and get into this story here and read this story. This is one of the coolest things you will ever read. It's probably the single best fantasy story you'll read for free, and because it's sitting on our public website. This is just a few pages long, and it's just one of many stories that Per has written about our game world. It is fantastic. The quality of this story is fantastic. Go and read it. Anyway, so heroes are actually those ultra rare cards, which I'm going to point out, by the way. When we say ultra rare, they're not nearly as rare as other games that say ultra rare, but anyway. our hero cards are introduced in these stories. This guy right here, he's a hero. This guy right here, he's a hero. This guy right here, also a hero. So this is actually Tor Haggard, for those of you who are watching our stretch goals. The hero card of this guy is one of our stretch goals. If we get to a certain point, I think it's as high as 100,000, we will give that to everybody. But anyway, you can read all about them. Para, do you want to talk about how we're using fiction in our game world?
Well, that was initially the thing that really attracted me onto the project. Was I had a chat with George, and I've been a card game player for a long time. Got into it with Magic way back when.
Go figure.
Way further back that I'm willing to admit to, actually, at least on this open Skype chat. And the thing that was really fascinating to me was how interested George was, and therefore now how interested we all are in integrating lore and the fiction of the world into the game. And that doesn't just include, say, the top level fantasy, the level that players will be interacting in, because there's an incredibly detailed and rich setting there that I really can't wait for us to explore fully.
Absolutely.
I have 2 stories written already about that. There's an unbelievable amount of gorgeous art, incredibly vivid world building.
Right.
That's just straight up amazing. That much is enough to get excited about on its own. But then you have the fact that all these cards are drawn from a dozen different worlds, a dozen different fantasy setups. We're talking about races and world setups that people, even who are very familiar with fantasy settings, are probably not familiar with. And the opportunity to write about those settings is just awesome. Just simply awesome.
Hey, look, it's awesome for us to have a guy that has as much talent as Para, as you do, as Para does on the project. Because it means that, we don't just have to be in a position where we're sort of geeking out about how cool it is to have fantasy writing. We can actually have top fantasy writing. And that's awesome. I mean, it's the type of thing where, it's a pleasure in our jobs when we get a story in our email that kind of we just cancel everything else we're doing for an hour and we just read the story 5 times, obviously, before we release it. But it's great. So let me read you guys a Facebook post that a friend of mine put up because I think it's pretty funny. He was advertising for us, and he said, "Successful startups disrupt existing industries. Chromancer's about to put Magic the Gathering style card game businesses right on its fat, velvet-cloaked ass." I think that's a little aggressive. But the response to it, which I think is even funnier, this guy said, he commented on this comment, he said, "Look out, Fat Cat RPG card game execs in your ivory tower. Type artifact, cost 1, value, increases lifetime 1 when cast for every card above 1. So, yeah, he's played some Magic in his day. I generally, if I use a term that is a Magic card, I have to list its statistics after I talk about the term. Anyway, guys, if you're wondering what you're looking at, this is an alpha of our product, Chromancer, that's coming out this winter. And we do want you to go to our website, go to our Kickstarter page, find out more about us, and sign up for a playtest so you can get in on it yourself. We've just run a successful Kickstarter. We're in our last day. We're going to be live streaming the rest of the day here. People are going to be challenging us devs to try to win. If they do, they're going to win prizes. And hopefully the next game is not going to take as long as this one is right here. This is what happens when you're so good that you put us in a deadlock.
What's the goal, the stretch goal that you're working towards right now?
It's a $66,000 stretch goal, which I'll bring up on the screen. It is replay mode. It's basically a mode that we're going to enable on the game that lets players save games and replay them whenever they want and share them whenever they want. So you can show people position that you were in and get advice, and just a really fun little mechanic. Obviously, in addition to that, we're also giving out a whole bunch of free stuff if we hit that stretch goal. There's a couple of the reward tiers that become improved, and everything above them become improved. So, for example, we're giving out a promotional card to everybody who's backed at $25 or more if we hit that amount, called Pit Fiend, which is a really, really good card. It's a red card that you will want in your decks, and so on. So go to our Kickstarter page, and you can see at the top of the page here are our stretch goals where we talk about all the great stuff that we're offering if we can hit the goals.
Some of the things you haven't mentioned yet tonight, George, is some of the deck building and sealing decks and kind of like how the whole trade mechanics work. There's some other really cool stuff that I think would be nice to talk about.
Deck seals, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, look, we want to validate and empower deck builders. Deck builders are an important part of a card gamer community. I'd love to have one of the other team members talk about that because we have a team of real serious card game players and they're very, very capable. We have Matt, who's on the line, who's one of the best card players I've ever met, and he has years of experience. And JP is a card player as well, who's on the line. Pair, if you want to talk to it. Do you guys have opinions about our deck building, how we want to present that to people, and the deck seal system?
Well, look, I mean, the kind of concept that we have and what we're working towards building is what George is referring to as a deck seal system. And so, what a deck seal is in our game is essentially a deck template. At any given time, and I think this is unlike other games out there, you will have the entire card pool of the game to work with to create decks. So you don't have to own the cards in order to kind of create this seal. What you will need, though, in order to actually activate the seal and play with it, is to have some of the ownership conditions or requirements met. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean downright ownership. Maybe somebody has shared some cards with you, and so you can use those cards in certain contexts. Maybe you obviously just own the cards as well. That's fine too, and then you can probably use the cards in any context that you want. But essentially, once you've created this seal, you'll be able to see whether you meet the requirements. If you don't, let's say you're missing one specific card that will make this deck work beautifully, you can just kind of click on the card. It'll take you instantly to the online secondary marketplace. You'll be able to see what it's trading for, who's selling it, what they're asking for, and you can execute a trade, find somebody that's selling it for a price that you're willing to buy it for, and just add it to your deck, and there you have it.
So those seals are really like a packaging of decks, right? Once you create a deck list, it becomes like a little icon that you can manipulate and use anywhere on the website. As JP is saying, you can filter the marketplace based on that icon. But
Structure down.
There's also the Arcanum. Can you talk a little bit about the Arcanum?
Sure, I will, and then after I talk about the Arcanum, I'll do the giveaway. But the Arcanum is essentially, you could think of it as a repository for deck seals, where you can go and if you've created a deck seal that you think is particularly good, you can post it there. Everyone will see it.
Yeah, it's a public archive available to everyone.
Yeah, people will not just be able to kind of view stuff, but they'll be able to kind of co-opt them and put them in their own accounts
or vote them up and down.
and start using them. And you'll be able to see the kind of the deck builder associated with any given seal. And if you start winning tournaments and games and prizes and everything with these deck seals because they're really, really good, you'll see that I don't know who made the deck today that we're playing with. It was the Nude Nub. Yeah, the Nude Nub.
Is the guy
so you would see that the Nude Nub made Deep Sea Predators and it's winning 5 million matches, and he will obviously be recognized as someone that's really, really good at deck building because his decks are just winning tournaments. So he can then afterwards have that street cred, if you will, and if he wants to, he can write up a strategy guide and say, "Hey guys, I'm selling this deck building strategy guide, and you should listen to what I have to say because look at look at how many tournaments my decks that I created have won." That's the kind of dynamic and mechanic that we want for the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh shoot, I did not mean to bring Skype up there. I apologize, guys. Yeah, absolutely. And to me, the great thing about the Arcanum is just what JP was saying, is the fact that it's public and the fact that you can up and down vote other people's decks. It means that it's going to create a game in which deck builders can be famous, deck builders can be validated, deck builders can be known across the site for being good at building decks. And it means quite simply, if you build a really effective deck, that everybody who has that deck in their account loaded, and they're using it, they'll have your little name associated with it as guy that built the deck, and you'll certainly get some kind of avatar or badge, forum badge, and so forth, as a reward for being in that position. So deck building is a very important part of collectible card gaming, and we want to validate it. We want to make it easy to use. It's just got to be the case that I learn about a tournament in which some guy won with some deck. It has to be easy.
Structure down.
It has to be easy for me to literally click into the history of that game, click on the deck that was used, have that go into my account, click on it in my account, filter my cards in my collection by that thing with a few clicks, and then filter the marketplace to see how much does it cost me at the lowest current auction rates for each individual card for me to buy everything I need to create that deck. Or can I borrow it from guys in my guild or from my friends list? Can I put out a request to borrow the cards, etc., etc., etc.? Those things should be easy, and they should be a few mouse clicks away, and that's what we're doing. It's not that hard to design. It's not that hard to implement if you just design it. And as card gamers, that's what we're designing.
Hey, it looks like Lannon has to peace out. But thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, it was absolutely a
It's a real
pleasure. You guys are making an awesome thing, and I'm really excited. I joined you last night, and you were on the cusp of making the goal, and now you guys are surpassing it.
Woo!
It's awesome.
Yeah,
right.
We're super excited, no doubt about it.
We are. Again, for everybody listening, Landon is from Big Sushi FM, which is a podcast online that talks about indie games, indie gaming. They have a lot of exclusive interviews and so forth with the early stages of products. They were at PAX Prime, which is where we met them. And you should check those guys out. It's Big Sushi FM.
.fm.
BigSushi.fm. You guys should go there.
And we did one recently. You can hear more from George if you haven't heard enough tonight.
Oh, brother.
Hard to imagine, but
Yes. If you were a
ticks all
masochist.
kinds.
They also have a really
Man,
good logo.
George talks a good fight. I've always liked that about him.
I talk a good fight. I talk a good fight.
This game's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see just how it progresses. Everything that's looking the way that it is, it's going to be really great to see it progress.
Well, thanks, man. I mean, that's what we think.
Yeah.
Thank you.
7 years in the making. Congrats, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Great.
Talk
Take
to you
care,
soon.
Landon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Landon. Wow, check out this game. They're each down to one structure.
They're each down to one structure, and this is
All right,
interesting.
so I actually, Per, who has actually won this trivia? Are you monitoring?
You know, I've actually not seen the full correct answer from anyone, which is really surprising the hell out of me. That PS4 TV has got it. PS4 TV has got it.
PS4 TV sounds
just
like
in
the name of
time.
a prize.
It's a hell of a prize. I'm afraid to say that Arthur Jackson didn't buy the second shed. He was thinking of buying the second shed, and some
To write
Is
it.
this a Monty Python question?
sheds, but he actually only had the one shed.
Arthur No
and his
Sheds
name
Jackson?
was Arthur Jackson. Arthur One Shed Jackson. He should have been called. It was two sheds. PS4 TV. It's on you, baby. Someone tell him what he wanted.
But we
A
did
shed.
say two cards for the first two people, so that means that Sleep AFK also has it.
Okay, you need to
Oh,
stop
really?
giving
Wait,
Sleep AFK stuff.
Yeah,
Wait
I
a
did
second,
say
wait
it
a
was.
second. You guys missed the new card.
We missed what?
Oh, wait, we did?
Yeah. He's way up at the top.
Well, let me see.
Well, if you guys are watching this game, this is an interesting
No, but he
position
said-
that we're
he
in
said-
here. The opponent has only his bank left, and I only have my castle left. That means that I only have my deck left, and he only has his pool of resources left. So he can save resources from turn to turn, which will help him hoard his income so that he can either get an alternate win condition win, which means if he accumulates 100 chroma at any point, he wins instantly. And it will enable him to play expensive cards more easily because obviously he can save up for them. Whereas I have a deck, so I can continue to draw cards, so I probably have a little bit of a longer game possible because I still have a store of cards. But, I don't have the ability to save resources from turn to turn without a deck, without a bank. Neither player
George,
has a discard.
George, it looks like you've got a store of one card.
Yeah.
I've got
The
a store of
issue
one
is-
card. Well, either way.
The issue is that unless that last card in the castle is a waterfront, then the only thing that I can use to attack his bank is my Squall Tamer, because I don't have any other options that I can afford.
Well, that's why you need to deck build better.
You might not.
Um,
You might not want to say that about a community-created deck, George.
I meant that's why I need to deck build better.
Yeah.
Because we're using your deck, George.
Wait a second. Wait, did that make sense? Yeah, something like that. Anyway. I love this card art right here. Look at this thing. This city right here. Oh man, that's amazing.
I must admit, despite myself, I am rooting for City in the art showdown in a really big way.
That's right. We do have a currently going on art tournament that's happening on our website. Right down here, you can see it in this little window down here. You can click into it. And let's see, we're currently in round 6. It's tournament style. People are voting. This is all run on Facebook. You need to get on Facebook to vote. You don't need to give any personal information.
Oh no, George, I'm going to interrupt
Whichever
you right
one
now.
wins will. Yeah, go ahead.
It's over. The window was until 8 p.m. tonight, so we can actually announce the 2 finalists because.
I see. And we'll open up
my goodness.
voting
Oh
for
my
the
goodness.
finals. What are the 2 finalists?
Well, we know one of them, Black Balrog. That was a given. But I'm actually going to go into the poll right now and see who actually won between City and Namrid. It was actually a really, really close race.
So this is
last I checked, it was
winner,
like 28
Black
to
Balrog.
27.
Just look at this card art. I mean, isn't this amazing? It was 28 to 27.
Oh my God! And now City took it. Like people are saying in the chat, 33 votes to 31. So that is very, very close. Very, very close.
Which took it?
City.
City took it.
So we will have a Godzilla-esque matchup between the destroyer known as Black Balrog and
the city. Gee, I wonder who's going to win that one. Luckily, we don't take these things too literally.
Black Balrog is the obvious choice, right? But for me personally, I love the subtlety of the City card. I feel it evokes what Chromancer is all about, summoning this stuff out of the void, and the art is gorgeous. I mean, literally, the more time you spend looking at this thing, the more there is to see. I love it. I love that card.
Yeah, I do too. Although I must say, I agree with Dave. I don't know if he had mentioned this when he was on the call on Friday, but his favorite card is the forest card with the deer or the moose or whatever that animal is, and it's fucking awesome.
It's a deer. It's
pretty
good.
I must admit that special. That's the blade fin. I mean, we all love the blade fin. I gotta admit, the blade fin is awesome.
Blade fin. Blade fin.
This is the forest card art that John Paul was talking about.
That is bad for blade fin.
Backer.
Oh gosh, we have it in backer. Okay, let's see. I want.
Anyhow, you guys can get to the workshop here on our website as well by checking that out. Anyway, the winner of our art tournament that I was just talking about, which you can vote on, is going to be featured on the booster packs when we release. So there is a consequence there. And you get free stuff just for voting. So head on over to our website and use your Facebook account to vote.
This isn't just a backer. It looks like 3 people increased, and we got a backer.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's insane.
Let's give out, some good stuff here. Why don't I ask a trivia question that has multiple answers? And,
okay, let's do that.
To each correct answer, the first time it's given in chat, you can only get 1 per person. Let's give out something good. Let's give out 200 chroma per answer. That's a pretty good prize, don't you think?
Not bad.
I think it's pretty good.
That's not bad.
It's pretty good. Let's see here. How about if the question is...
Chromancer based.
It's got to be Chromancer based.
Chromancer based
We got to
question?
help these guys out.
Okay, Chromancer based question it is. In our playtest right now, this is a generous question. It's going to have 5 correct answers. In our playtest right now, you can see on the screen we've got forests and we've got waterfronts. We were just talking about city. Name one of the other 5 fields in Chromancer. You can probably guess. It's not that complicated.
Yeah.
Wait, did everyone catch that? Because people have been complaining about not hearing or not being fast enough.
Looks like they caught it.
I'm very clear. Remember that I turned the volume up on my mic and turned it down on all of yours. with intent. Also, I just
okay,
have
well-
in my earphones here. I'm not actually listening to you. I'm just listening to my own voice over and over again. I have it on
Sounds
repeat.
magical, bro.
All right,
I have
so
a
wait,
chorus of myself
what
that
were the
I've,
conditions, George? What were the conditions for
programmed.
this? It was
It's
5 answers or
name a
something?
field in Chromancer that isn't a waterfront, forest, or city. There are 5 of them.
Okay.
So are we giving away 5 prizes or what?
We are.
5 times 200 chroma. Yes, we are.
Oh wow.
So it's a very nice prize.
That's how many?
You should also,
one,
you should
two-
also for the backer, you should also do a raffle of people randomly in the channel because there's not everybody knows these things. We should also give out some random prizes.
I have been giving out random prizes.
Okay, good.
Don't worry. All right, who's Matt? Can you pick out a couple of winners? I'll type them up.
Can I pick out some winners?
Well, no, from the chat, who answered first and all that.
Okay, looks like PS4 TV answered first with mountains,
Okay.
and then Sophia answered with swamp, and the nude nub got hills.
The nude nub, man. He's just
I know.
cleaning up.
Then we got Dark Matter with desert. Dark Matter 005.
Well done, sir.
Okay.
There's one more.
And then finally, I don't know if we're going to accept this or not, Burning Light said swap.
I think you meant swamp. That's fine.
All right.
Give those
didn't
people
we-
all prizes. It looks like this game is basically about to end here. It looks like Pete has defended my honor successfully. Oh, actually, should I jump to that conclusion?
By successfully, if you mean I just lost, yeah.
Well, there's a
Well,
guy in
that's
chat.
what everyone was expecting.
How did you let that happen?
True guys,
Well-
True Len in chat is asking how. I'm not quite sure how this game works yet. This might be a good time to boot up another game. And Trulen, if you stick around for about 2 minutes, we'll boot up another game, and George will kind of,
Show you.
show you basically, how this game works.
And congratulations to Majin Koba.
Oh my
Well
God,
done.
Magic Koba won! Oh, that's incredible. That means that he gets a challenger prize. Congrats, sir. And the deck he was using. Wait, Fire Pearl. He won with Fire Pearl.
Well,
He won with Fire
he's
Pearl,
on the
yeah.
line. I mean, you can let him talk.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Who made Fire Pearl? Remind me again, guys.
Fire Pearl was the work
No
of
idea.
Draco Magiet.
Draco,
Draco-
Magiet,
Draco-
Maget.
Draco Magit.
Okay.
Draco Magiet.
Well, hey,
Also-
Majin, congrats on the win. Well played.
Also, another structure went down, so
Well, the game ended.
uh.
The game ended, and the player won. So that's a surprise for everybody in chat, really.
All right. I will manage that in a second. So you keep talking, George.
So, Majin, that was a long game. You really stuck it out there.
good job.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
No, don't
It
be
looked like
sorry. On the contrary, well done, sir. Pete's hard to beat.
it looked like you were losing, but you pulled it out. That's very good. I wasn't paying too close attention because I'm answering emails and stuff. But
Do you think that it was partially because Pete was a little bit unwise in not defending his castle?
it looked like Pete went for the kill, and Majin Koba went around the back and took him out.
The math wouldn't have worked anyway because he had six income and I had 5 attackers, and if I moved my Squall Tamer, I was going to die. So he would have outpaced me by 1, and he could have won in 100 turns.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, it's
Now
horrible.
that, sir, is the long game. That is the long
Well,
game.
you could have hit and turned very quickly every time. Well, congrats to you, Majin Koba. I mean, Pete's not easy to beat.
Yeah, well done.
Good job.
What's all
Thanks
this?
a lot. That was fun.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. Thanks for sticking it out. And hopefully, as this game's UI improves, these things will take less time. Okay, well, there's somebody who was asking about a game, so I'm just going to boot a game up here.
Yeah, Drake is your opponent next. Drake should already be there. Drake is not there.
That's
What
okay.
happened to Drake?
That's all right. Look.
Sleep AFK wants to play.
So for those of
He
you,
says he's a-
I'll get
says he's
in
a
the
fast
game
player.
against an actual opponent in a second, but for the purposes of the demonstration, this is against the AI. You can see
Okay.
that here in Chromancer, you set up the game before you start playing the game, and you take your side of the board and you basically decide where you're going to put your 3 structures, and your opponents can put his three structures across from you. Those three structures represent your deck, your discard pile, and your pool of resources. So the actual point of this game is not to attack your opponent directly, is to disable your opponent's ability to play the game. So I'm actually trying to knock down his deck and prevent him from drawing cards the rest of the game. I'm trying to knock down his bank and prevent him from saving resources from turn to turn. I'm trying to knock down his discard pile and prevent him from keeping cards in play that would otherwise leave play forever. So, there's a lot of positional strategy. It matters where I put things. So, for example, I'm going to put one thing all the way out here on the edge where it's hard for him to assault, whereas I'm going to put other stuff sort of towards the middle. I'm going to put my pool of resources all the way out here because I don't want him attacking that. My deck is sensitive to that. And this is just a brand new strategy game. It has all of the intrigue and interest of a card game in terms of deck building and so forth, but it has this new set of strategy based on these strongholds and defending them, these structures which are called strongholds. It's just, as lifelong card game players, we've finally come to something that's very, very different in terms of how it plays out, and that's what we love about Chromancer. So I will just show you basically that one of the cool things about this game is that it plays out in a very open way. There aren't rigid rules. You can do kind of anything you want whenever you want. You can draw cards as many times as you want whenever you want. You can discard cards whenever you want. You can burn cards, which means getting rid of them out of your hand for they leave play forever and you get money for that, and so on. Draws do cost more and more as you continue to draw on the same turn, but my strategy is often to draw a whole lot of cards in the beginning looking for income. So that's kind of how the game works, and it's an action-reaction game like Magic. It's not an asynchronous turn game where you take a turn and wait for the opponent. So he's going to move his creatures around and attack me. I'm going to be able to pause his attack, move my creature in the way to block, or conversely, if he's attacking me, I can pause it and then dodge with the creature and so forth, and he'll hit what's behind it, etc., etc. And it's really, really a deep strategy game that's interesting and not obvious for a card player, and that's why we love it.
George, I'm gonna have to interrupt you there on your boosted mic, but I'm out for tonight.
Okay, Perrin.
This has run deep into the morning for me.
Yes,
thanks for
it's like 4 a.m. for Per where he is.
Well, it's pretty late for some of these other guys. Draco is taking it in the crates as well, man. Draco, stick in there, man. Stick in there, get in a game, and win the game. Now he's on the same time zone as me, so
Sleep
feeling that.
AFK is jonesing to play, George, against you. He really, really wants to beat you.
He sounds
Hell,
like
who
your
doesn't?
alt.
Oh.
Anyway,
Not
guys.
my alt. All right,
Guys,
cheers,
I'll
Per.
catch
Thanks
you
for
next
joining,
time.
man.
All
Thanks
right,
for
let's
joining.
play against a player here.
See you, Pear.
Best of luck, you guys.
Sleep can give it a try. I guess Drake is gone, huh?
Drake is gone. Joey says
Here's-
that Drake nominated him. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm agnostic about it.
Okay.
It looks like Sleep AFK is already in there, so he was correct about being fast.
Okay. Well,
All right, then. Well, look, according to Sleep, he's a fast player, so this is going to take like 20 minutes, right?
we'll see.
With tons of giveaways, right?
I hope so.
All right,
I'm gonna
Let's get it going.
knock this one out. So,
That's it.
if you guys have any other questions about the game, how we're implementing it, what we're doing in general, please feel free to ask. JP, do you or Matt, do you have any particular topics that you think are worth covering?
I haven't really seen any big questions in chat. Although Trueland is saying
Yeah, we had some earlier.
couldn't follow
Hey, here's a
most of the
topic.
link.
We have had 50 backers today, which is the most we've ever had in a day.
Oh,
And it's
that's
not over
awesome.
yet.
That's great.
Incredible, guys. That is truly incredible.
Let's keep it up. If you guys are watching this game, you'll see that I played a field, then I drew a bunch of cards, then I got another field, now I'm going to play another field. So it's really asynchronous. You can do these things whenever you want. I could have drawn those cards on my opponent's turn. You just do what you want kind of when you want, and that openness of gameplay is what makes this game so deeply strategic and interesting. It's more like chess than it is like anything else, because even though you do have this complex element of deck building, you also have this just open field where the rules are not determined as to you rigidly can only do this per turn or this card can only do that. You can use cards however you want. You could tell a creature that he's basically going to be defensive for you, or basically be offensive for you, or basically cover a position, or basically build things, or basically cast spells, or whatever. You use things the way you want to, and that it just opens up the game so much. You've got to try it for yourselves. Please sign up for a playtest, go to our website, get an account, and so forth.
Milo's challenging me to a trivia question. How many new backers did we have today?
Is that a trivia question?
That's a trivia question.
What if that changes in the middle of the
Yeah, I think
question?
that's
I don't know if that's a really solid thing to work with.
It's a trivia question, man. Get on it.
There was a question.
If you want to win something.
Or a trick question.
New backers.
Oh my god! Okay, all right,
Pete,
new backers.
you need to stop talking like a robot
Crap.
every time
See, I
something
told
happens.
you guys.
All right, this is incredible. We're on 50. All right, new backers. I'm just gonna do a couple of giveaways. Let's see what we're giving away right now. We are giving away a 1 month subscription. That's what's going out. It's going out to. Do we want like some eligibility list, or are we just gonna throw it out to the general population? Chromancer trivia, says Milo. Ah, of course he does, because he knows he's gonna win.
Right.
Hey, there was actually a good question.
So we're both trying to
there.
actually lock down each other's income at this early stage in the game. Sure, what was the good question?
Whether there would be an alternate win condition aside from 100 chroma or building destruction.
Oh, wow, what a great question. Who asked that question?
That was Deszak.
Thank you for that question. First of all, yes, because you'll be able to set win conditions in your own player-made versions of the game. But also, we've been considering, specifically, I've been considering strongly coming up with a win condition associated with each structure. Because it will open up the ability to change even further some of your deck building strategy. Right now, the bank is very, very important because you need it and basically to reach the 100 chroma win condition. So if there are any suggestions about that, please write them to the forum. But yes, in general, I do want that to be the case, and I look forward to implementing that stuff. So great question. Really it hits the nail on the head, and is something that I've been thinking about myself. So yeah.
All right. So wait, did we say we'd do one giveaway to general pop, and then we'd have a trivia question? Is that a Chromancer specific trivia? George, do you have one rolling off your lips?
Trivia question specific to Chromancer. Have you been raffling prizes as well, though, to make sure it's not just trivia?
I've been randomly rolling stuff. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, sure. Chromancer-related trivia question. Name the only blue spell that is in our workshop.
You backer.
Pete, are you a robot? What's going on, man? That's pretty impressive. I like the sound effects.
All right, I'm going to take the first two people since we got a new backer during that trivia, and the winner is getting, because I'm just cycling these gifts. So the winner is getting a booster pack.
Great.
So let's see who won. Dun, dun, dun.
At this rate, I think we are going to get to that billion.
To the
billion?
Yeah.
Are you prepping your fingers to type "wow" into the chat?
Oh yeah, I'll type wow.
So it looks like the Nude Nub and Draco Magite.
Those guys are good.
Am I correct?
Wait.
Could be.
That looks that way. Assuming Ice Beam is the answer.
Ice Beam is the answer.
I just didn't listen to the question.
The question was, what is the only card we have that rhymes with Rice Dream in our game?
Stream.
We do have Spice Stream. I forgot about that. No, I'm kidding.
Spice Stream.
We don't have that, no. We got a very nice comment earlier today, a little bit of chat from, I'll give a shout out. I'm sure he doesn't need me to, but I will anyway. From Jerry Holkins, who's really one of my heroes in this industry, he's the author of Penny Arcade. And I had a little bit of a chat with him about a word called, which is eucaligon. Eucaligon is the definition of that word is it's a neighbor who has been, whose house has burnt down or whose house is burning down. It's just like the craziest word in English that I know of. So we're planning on having a card in our game, by which I mean I'm planning on having a card in our game called eucaligon, just because it's such a cool concept.
Nice one.
I think we need to kind of store that one away for a trivia later on in the
Store that away for trivia.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
that's a good one.
cool story, George.
Is that what somebody typed into the chat?
Yeah, that's what Milo typed.
Yeah.
I'm liking Milo.
Am I
more
allowed
and
to
more.
think that our players are jerks?
Or awesome, depending on your role in this company.
That's for sure.
Fine.
Oh man. So is Sleep AFK as fast a player as he claims to be? Because he really has a lot of backing up to do to that claim.
I don't know. Is he secretly John Paul?
Oh, you know what? This is the exact time to prove that I am not Sleep AFK. We need to just get him on the Skype right now.
John Paul, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to be hearing, "Hello, Sleep AFK." "Hi, John Paul. How are you?" "Oh, I'm just fine." "That's great, John Paul. I'm fine." "Did I already ask you?" "Yes, you did." "Oh, well, I'm sorry about that. By the way, I really like you. You're my favorite team member," etc.
You're you're quite the ventriloquist. George.
Am I not quite the ventriloquist? Yes.
Oh my gosh.
But Sleep AFK, if you would like to be on the call.
Yeah, I just searched for his Skype, didn't find it. So I don't know. Maybe he's not a Skyper.
Not everybody has to be.
Guys, I swear to God, this guy does exist. I'm not playing in the game right now.
You don't even know for sure that he exists. What if it's me?
It could be me. That would be a really good fake out. Accusing it of being someone else's alt, but it's really mine.
Here's a good question, chat. Gorg, are you lead programmer?
I am not the lead programmer. Matt, who is on the call, is the lead programmer. I am the game designer.
Hello.
Yeah, but this is a good opportunity. We might as well just share what people do on the team. We had Per a little while ago. He's not on the call anymore. He is our fantasy writer. He's really the lead behind the lore and kind of fictional narrative that will tie into the game. Mm-hmm. So I introduced Per, and I'll introduce myself later as a...
Pete, can you pick up these names in the chat box here and type them into the Skype?
What are you asking me to do?
Are you jumped in as me right now in the game? If I jump over to Skype, it's going to turn off the Twitch feed. That's why I don't want to do it.
Oh, all right. Sure, I can jump in.
I just mean because Sleep has typed here into the chat. If you just copy that into the Skype chat. Sorry. Yeah, Para was on the call.
Well, I'm
What
not
are we
going to
copying in?
What?
What are we copying in? I don't understand.
Never mind.
Never mind, Timmy. Look, I'll continue the introductions. How about that?
Yes, please continue the introductions.
Apparently, Joey, G412 Joe, is in charge, just as a parenthesis. But no, let's see. I'm JP. I'm the guy that's running the Crowmancer chat on Twitch. I'm the guy that does the giveaways. So, if you like me a lot and you say good things about me, I might give more stuff away to you.
Oh my god.
Just gonna throw that out there.
You
very,
are
very
so
subtle.
vain.
I will. It's just very subtle, but Yeah, what I do? I actually joined the team about 7 months ago. Look, I've known George for, gosh, it's been 12 years now. I met him in college,
12
and
years. That's right. That's right.
it's a long time.
John Paul left his
So
door unlocked one night, and I was robbing him. No, that's completely a lie. His door wasn't
I
unlocked.
I don't don't even know what you're talking about, George. Anyway, I met George 12 years ago. Then last summer, I just graduated from business school, and George's like, "Hey, I'm working on this game. You should totally come and lend us your expertise and do some writing because I used
Yeah,
to write a
except
lot of
that when I
fantasy
said
back
that,
in
I
the day."
didn't sound like a hippie. So I'm not totally sure why you're recounting the story that way.
Hey,
But...
look, this. I'm recounting it from my
Oh,
perspective.
from your perspective. Oh, I see. I see. That's interesting. So
At the
I'm a
time,
hippie.
George.
Okay.
So at the time, George showed me the game, and it was basically like a couple of lines, or it was like I don't even know how to describe it.
It was
uh,
me and you eating at a Chipotle and me talking about the game is probably what it was,
yeah, exactly.
which tends to be
And
our standard interaction. Actually, our standard interaction is not talking about the game; it's talking about Monty Python. But anyway, please continue.
yeah, and then let's see, about 8 months ago, no, 9 months ago now, I finally joined the team because George's like, look, the game is actually good now. No, the game was good before. It just I couldn't understand what was
Yes,
going on. There
John
was
John Paul, the fair weather team member.
so I opportunistically jumped on the wagon, and I've been trying to organize a bunch of businessy stuff ever since, including this Kickstarter. So you know what, George? I think you should give me a little pat on the back because as of right now, it looks like we made our goal.
Yeah, a little pat on the back, sure.
I think we
It
have
might
sleep.
feel like a punch, though.
I think we have sleep AFK in the call now.
Oh,
Hey,
nice.
John Paul, right here.
See, now I don't even know if that was John Paul or not. You should totally try to
It
put on a
wasn't.
slightly Greek accent
It's the sleep AFK.
and slightly screw up American expressions, and we'll totally believe you. Hey,
Well-
welcome, man.
Hey, Figs.
So sleep AFK. Are you as fast a player as you claim to be?
Doing pretty fast, but I got all my chickens in one basket at the moment.
You see what happens?
I hear that's a
what
good
happens
strategy.
when you over chicken a basket?
Well, what happens
That's
when
actually
you
the way I'm going to use that expression from now on as a verb. Over chickening something. Over chickening a basket. Sorry.
hyper chickening?
Yeah, for those of you that don't know what the hell we're rambling on about, the other day John Paul was trying to say put all your eggs in one basket, and he said put all your chickens in one basket, and we've been making fun of him ever since.
I didn't want to say put all your eggs in. I wanted to say put all your chickens in one basket.
Oh, I see. I think that in that case we need to make fun of a different aspect of what you were talking about.
George, Milo wants to challenge you to a remarch.
A
Apparently,
remarch?
you guys marched in that race the other day. He lost.
Sleep. Shall we call you Sleep AFK or Sleep AFK or John Paul II or something else?
Sleep works.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm commanding you, sleep. Well, in any event, how's our Twitch channel traffic at the moment?
517.
Only? Well, guys, if you're just joining us, I mean, we're alpha playtesting a game here. I'm playing against a player right now. If he beats me, everybody in the channel is going to win a prize. If you want to win a prize, all you need to do is follow the channel, and you'll be eligible, and you'll get free stuff. We're a game that's coming out this winter. We've just successfully funded on Kickstarter. You can still get in on the action for a few more hours, see all our great prizes, watch our video, learn about the game, and learn why this is really a great game that is very, very different from everything else you've ever played. And good job, Sleep. He just took out my bank. So for those of you that are just joining us, Sleep AFK literally just destroyed my pool of resources, which means I can't save resources from turn to turn anymore. In this game, at Chromancer, you're actually destroying your opponent's ability to play the game little by little. And the game changes as a result as you play. I now literally have to change my strategy, which is what makes this game so cool.
And not only does your ability to play the game change when a structure goes down, We also give away tons of awesome shit when the structure goes down. Excuse my language. So,
That is what we're doing.
speaking of which,
Man, I'm getting my butt handed to me. I thought I was winning this game. What's going on? How do you have two Balrogs
look,
out?
we've nicknamed this the daily Kickstarter Beat Georgiathon. So, or was it Smack
I am
Georgiathon?
getting beaten up pretty badly.
All right. Well, there are
Why
two
do you-
promo cards in the running. I'm gonna roll for promo cards. ×2.
Okay, let's do that. And you guys, if you have any questions about this game or how you can get in on a playtest or really anything else you want to ask us, just ask us. We will be happy to respond. Wow, this is a bad situation. He's got two huge creatures lined up across from my...
Yeah, you're done.
I'm done.
It's all over.
It's
Yeah.
pretty close.
I don't know. I think I just killed his bank, though, unless he can do something about that, which I doubt. This is the problem with putting your bank all the way over there.
I'm
It's
just
the problem with
maximizing
putting
promo
all of your
cards.
banks in one basket, George.
If you say the word bank or basket or chicken or the, I'm kidding. Again. Anyway.
New backer.
Pete, you are so weird.
Oh my god. All right, structure down. All right. Structure down.
Structure down. Yes.
Structure
And
down.
a new
structure
backer,
down.
for that matter.
And a new backer. Okay. So
Right.
I guess we will give away a 1-month subscription for the new backer, and we'll give away a promo card for the structure down, because that's how we roll.
Yeah, we're now $1,080 away from a stretch goal.
Come on, guys. We want to hit the stretch goal. At 66K, everybody's going to get another card, which is a promo card you will not get any other way. It's called Pit Fiend. It's a red card that lets you kick serious butt in a red deck. Everybody's going to want one. Just $1,000 more. Let's do it. Shall we get the cheerleaders on the line? John Paul, set that up, will you?
Get the cheerleaders.
Yes,
They're entertaining in the back
You
room.
got the memo about the... Oh, my God. You got the memo about the cheerleaders, right? Well, if they're entertaining in the back room, knowing you, what that means is they're like, like playing ping pong.
Well, yeah, did get another backer.
Great.
And now over 65,000.
Great.
Soaring.
Thanks, guys.
Soaring over 65,000.
Soaring over 65. Incredible.
Soaring.
Actually,
All right.
I guess
Is his
$65
username
is it
SORE
really soaring?
space RING?
Yeah, that's great.
I think I'm funny. Sleep, you're
So
kicking my
True-
butt here,
Trueland-
man. Stop it.
Trueland
Going
just
pretty good.
won a 1-month subscription. Let me see. I'm gonna put in a trivia question in the on the Kickstarter page. Let me just come up with that, and then I'm gonna roll twice more for the next 2 giveaways.
For those of you
So
guys
just-
that are actually watching this game, by the way, you can see that this is what happens when two people actually know what they're doing. Is the game actually plays really quickly. And one thing that's very cool is, and I'm just going to pop out of this view here for a second, is this is where we're going with all this. You can see all these pieces of artwork here that I'm showing you. It's going to be a 3D isometric view. This game is coming this winter. It's going to be interactive and extremely sleek and smooth and fun to play. That's where we're getting. So we hope that you guys will stay tuned and sign up for playtests. You can get to our website. You can look at all the great stuff that we've got going on our website. I'm going to just pop in there for a second to show it to you. Please pardon me for a second, Sleep AFK. This is our website right here. It's got some lore right here that you can read, written by a professional fantasy writer who's part of our team. If you are at all interested in fantasy, you owe it to yourself to go here and read this. This is the best fantasy writing you will find for free on the internet. It's just sitting on our website. It's totally for you to gobble up. I mean, it's like one of my favorite fantasy stories, and I've loved fantasy my whole life. It's
New backer.
It's phenomenal. Go over there. You can vote on the art that you like best in our game. Mark Poole, one of the most famous card artists in history, is painting for us. We're going to have his art as well as other people's arts on our project. You can go here to the workshop. I'll show you where that is exactly. It's this little window down here on our website. You see the imp there. You click on that and you'll get to a gallery of all our art as we release it. You can read some of the flavor text on this art down here, and you can just see this incredible game art as it comes in. It's really something else. There's the flavor text down below here. And the other types of stuff that we do that I was going to show you here is an art tournament that we're holding, voting on our favorite art pieces. You do that through Facebook. You'll help us, for example, determine what card art is going to go on our booster packs when we launch. So there's a whole lot of community interaction. Just head on over to our website or head over here to our Kickstarter page. You can see we've got a little bit further down the page from the top. Our video is really cool. You've got to watch it, but then a little further down the page, we've got stretch goals here, which we'll talk about all the additional great stuff we're going to get for people in this next 24 hours if we can raise just $1,000 more at this point, and a couple other things. So check us out. Type any questions you have into the chat, and we will take those for you. And now I will continue this game, which is winding down here. You see it's very close. I've knocked down 2 of his strongholds. He's knocked down 1 of mine. He doesn't have a graveyard or a bank anymore, which means he has no discard pile. He has no pool of resources. I've got no bank anymore. I've got no pool of resources. Neither of us can save resources from turn to turn. He can't save cards in play because he has no discard pile. Our decks are getting thin too. It's pretty exciting. If you are new to the game, you don't quite know it yet, but these things that we're attacking actually matter. We are disabling each other from playing the game as we play it. So we have to adapt to the differing rules of the game as we beat each other up. That's what's unique about Chromancer. It's not a game about taking your opponent's hit points to 0 like so many games, like Magic. Anyway.
The nude nub. All my red herrings in one basket. We definitely need to have a red herring card. Draco McGee had a great idea. In addition to having just won the 3rd roll, Draco McGee suggested we have a red herring card.
We that's in the works, actually. That's a very, very good guess, sir. If I remember, when we release with that card, I will give you some for free, merely for that comment. I hope I'm not inspiring people to now guess card names into the chat. That would be spamful.
That's awesome.
Well, why not, you know?
Oh wow! Well, what's the tally at right now? I just haven't been checking. Oh, 65, 155. Guys,
right.
we are very close.
And if you guys
this is incredible.
If you guys are in our Twitch channel and you're watching us now, we are giving out free prizes constantly. If you want to be eligible for that, all you have to do is follow our Twitch channel, and then you will be eligible for these free raffles, free promo cards, free boosters, free chroma, which is our game currency, all this stuff that you'll be able to use in December, some of which you won't be able to get any other way. Please just click the follow button and you'll be on our little list. So far, well played, Sleep. This is a close one. I don't really think I have much chance, though.
Question. Besides the Crimson God, what other gods are there in the Chromancer world?
Oh wait, is this a trivia question?
I don't know.
Will you
Guess so.
calm down a little bit there, John Paul, and stop being insane?
Look, Milo's clamoring for a trivia question.
Milo's always clamoring for a trivia question.
I think we need to ask him a trivia question that if he can't answer, then he can't.
What other gods are there? Well, there's a god named George the Merciful. No, that's total nonsense.
No, this is an interesting question because you know the worlds that Chromancers draw their summons from, which again are kind of times long gone and worlds in the beyond. They're many and varied. So the gods and denizens and deities of these worlds could, in theory, be many. And far be it from us to have thought about all of them at this point, but in the world where the story that you guys have read takes place, one of the gods is the Crimson God.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way that this works. I mean, our game is set. You have a sort of top-level fantasy of Chromancers who are summoning forces from previous worlds in order to fight these card battles, basically. You can see I'm showing you some card art that represents that on the screen right now. We have some incredible art. You really need to go to our website and check out our workshop where we show you some of the art that the game's going to use ahead of time. So the Chromancers are summoning these supernatural forces, and they're actually drawing on elements of past worlds and past universes. So there probably are many different contexts in which we have gods in the game and so forth. But the best person to ask that question would be Per, because he's our writer, as you all know. I don't. He's not actually on the line anymore. He had to go to sleep because he's currently in the UK and it's very, very late there. But I do hope that you will, ask that question on our forums and he'll respond. A lot of our game world is slightly undetermined because he hasn't totally written all of it yet, but I'm sure he has some pretty good answers up his sleeve for you.
Lucky Fo 4R is asking somebody to pitch the game. George, I'm going to challenge you to pitch this game in 3 minutes or less.
Pitch the game? You mean like a fastball?
No, I think like sell your pitch, your game pitch.
Well,
What is this game all about?
Chromancer is a game that.
3 minutes or less, George. You're on the clock.
Okay. Chromancer is a game that's been years in the making, 7 years in the making, by lifelong card game players, and it's a game that's been made specifically because we love card games. We love all the card games out there, but we feel that more and more, and I'm not going to name names, but we feel that more and more other card games, you can just say this is Magic plus something. And there's nothing wrong with that. Magic's great, but and again, I'm not going to name other products, but you might say like, okay, this new product is Magic, where all you're trying to do is you're being forced to block certain creatures with other creatures. That's the innovation. Or this is Magic, where your creatures evolve. Or this is Magic, where I guess there's some games that basically are the same thing as Magic. But anyway, again, won't name names, and of course you realize I'm joking because we do play all those other games. We do love all those other games, and that's not my point. Is not that we're competitors. My point is that Chromancer is a game where the strategy of the game is completely, drastically different. So as a lifelong card game player, it excites us to play this game. We have to think outside of the box, and that's what's so great about it. It's a game where the point of the game is not to knock your opponent to 0 hit points. It's to disable his ability to play the game, and you do that by literally destroying his deck, his discard pile, and his pool of resources. And the implications that has on a game as you play the game, that you change the rules of the game, is just brand new. We're running ourselves like any other TCG where we distribute cards through packs and so forth. We validate collection. We have a completely open, unfettered trading system. And we're getting from where we are right now with our alpha build that you see here, which is pre-art and pre-UI, to a place where we're going to have 3D isometric stuff, which I'm putting up on the screen for you now. This is just concept art. And we are really, really going to try to make something that has a very sleek, fun-to-use interface. You can see we have some of the best art you can imagine. Mark Poole, one of the most famous card artists in history, is on our project, one of the guys that made all the original art for Magic Gathering, and on and on and on. You can actually buy some of his original prints through our Kickstarter, which is still running. We have made the goal, but we have a few hours left. Check out our page. It's down there at the bottom of the screen. And you can learn a lot more about this. We've got a lot more videos about mechanics and so forth. And we've got a fully fledged website where you can sign up for a playtest if you want to try it for yourself. It's a browser-based game, no download. You can play on a tablet or phone or computer. And that's pretty much all I can tell you in 3 minutes.
Well,
Okay,
congratulations,
we have some
George. You
questions
actually-
then.
Ask
Yeah.
your questions,
Yeah.
please.
Okay, here's some questions. They're good questions. Wait, let me find them again because it keeps scrolling. Question: creature shields. Which colors have them? Gray only, or does this mean damage reduction in general?
Creature shields?
Yeah, I think it might be referring to physical resistance.
Well, if you're talking about blocking, that's an action that a creature can always undertake. It can move in the way of an attack. Any creature can do that. Some are better than others. If you're talking about something like resistance of damage, gray, you might have seen on our website, are generally going to be creatures that have a certain inherent physical resistance to damage. But there's also magic damage in this game from spells, and they may be more susceptible to that. So it's not restricted to a single color, but there just are colors that will tend towards it more than others. And so that's a correct thought that you have, that certain colors are more resistant than others, as should be the case. I mean, games are better when there are different, that are really different, but balanced choices that you can make. We've tried to have a game here with 12 colors that are all really different in how they play, but also really balanced. And it's taken us 7 years to get there.
Okay, in that case, Dr. McGee wants to know if we will have foil cards.
Foil cards. I don't really personally like having chase cards in a game. There's no real point. other than to make people pay more money, and we're not about that. We might have something similar in the sense of that you are trying to get it in the sense of collectible cards because they're from an early edition. But I mean, that's just going to happen as a result of it being a card game, not because we're trying to specifically create a chase card. We do have one type of card which I think will really interest everybody, very innovative, called artifacts, which are singular items that exist once in the entire universe. So there'll be, for example, one Excalibur on our entire site. It's a card that one player has, and everybody will know who's holding that card at any given time. It'll be public information on the front of the website, and that player, while he holds that card, will be forced regularly to be in ranked matches where the ante is automatically going to be that artifact. Now, it's not going to be easy to beat him because artifacts will be really, really strong. They'll give him a big advantage. But it'll be fun as players are constantly trying to be the one to hold the artifact. And of course, as soon as you hold an artifact, you can unlock a forum badge that says, I was the holder of this artifact for so long. There'll be high scores as to who held which longer. And there'll be several artifacts that we'll be tracking constantly in its own separate section of the website across the community. So we do have methods for people to try to chase things, if you will, but only in a community building way and absolutely not in a pay to win way, which again, we're 15 years, 20 years long card game players. We hate being on the receiving end of pay to win, so we're just not going to put it in our game. We are confident that we can create a game that is well monetized, that does well without introducing that kind of nonsense. Do you guys have anything to say about that? We do have the rest of the team on the call. I don't mean to be dominating the conversation.
Sorry, kind of paying more attention to the chat.
Okay, well,
No
if there's a
offense.
lot of chat, then that's good.
Oh, can someone hold 2 artifacts?
Sure, somebody can hold all the artifacts if he's good enough, but believe you me, that's not going to be easy.
What would happen if someone were holding all the artifacts and got challenged and lost? Would that player lose all of the artifacts? Wouldn't that mean that one person is always forevermore going to hold all of the artifacts?
No, that's not how it works. An artifact is an item, and it's a piece of equipment. I mean, there's many ways that you can build a deck that's an anti-equipment deck or so forth. I mean, it's not like an automatic win card. It's just a fun thing to chase.
That's not what I'm saying. If you have all of the artifacts and I beat you, doesn't that mean I get them all?
No,
and then
no,
therefore,
no. The match that you're being
only get one.
The match that you're being forced to play is the ante of that match is one of those artifacts. So I mean, in order for you to get all the artifacts, you will literally have to be. First of all, you have to be really, really good, and second of all, you have to be really, really lucky. I mean, it's an interesting question. I don't think it's really going to happen. If it does, that person will be famous. Let's put it that way. Hey, you know what? All the power to you if you can do that. By the way, I'm about to lose this game. Congrats to my opponent, Sleep AFK, whose last structure is down to 0. This was a very close game, but he did pretty handily handle me the whole game and kept the advantage and kicked my butt. So, well done, sir. I think I played a good game. He still beat me.
Hey, George, why do you have all those cards in your hand?
Go ahead, sir.
Oh, you're right. I should have thrown them out and saved myself. Well, it doesn't matter. I would have still lost. I mean, I just would have beaten me next turn.
All right, so wait. Who won and with what deck?
Sleep AFK beat me. Congrats, sir.
I was using the Horde.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, hey, I built that.
Oh my God, Matt gets a prize.
Matt, you want to get a prize for that? Should we give prizes to our devs? Matt, you get a free booster pack. Isn't that great?
Yay.
No, but you know what? It's a player who beat a dev. So everybody in the Twitch channel right now, if you follow us in the Twitch channel in the next minute, you will get a free prize at our website. You will get an early alpha booster, which is a limited edition item that you can only get now, basically before the project fully launches, simply because a player has beaten a dev. And I will be happy to take on the next player who wants to challenge me in the channel. But in the meantime, just follow us, and we will take down all the names of our followers in the channel and give everybody a prize. You can redeem that at our website.
I'll just caveat that, George. For the sake of keeping my sanity, I'm just having people type something in if they want to be eligible. So
just type something
in there.
Right.
People are typing it up. You just mimic what your neighbor is doing.
Type a keyword in, basically, right?
Yeah, the keyword is sleep AFK is lightning fast! Exclamation point.
Sleep AFK is lightning fast. Okay, great.
That was a nice quick game. That was about 20, 25 minutes.
That was fast.
And and with the chat and everything going on, I mean that slows it down
Yeah.
because everybody, people are listening and
hey, this is our
So-
alpha UI. I mean, I think our real UI is going to be twice as fast. Here's our website that I've brought up for everybody who's curious. When you do redeem prizes from us and you log into your account, you'll see up here at the top right that you can hover over things to see what prizes you've unlocked. Even before we launch, you can see what prizes you have. We've got all kinds of great stuff at our website. We've got our workshop here, which is where we pre-release a lot of and spoil a lot of our incredible game art that you can just look through and read some of the flavor text for. One of the most famous artists in the history of card games, Mark Poole,